I've been working with VR since 2015, and I've been sailing around the world, first as a crew member and later as a captain, and now I make people the captains of their lives, and virtual reality is the most powerful tool to help me with my mission. That's why I founded a company called Captain VR, and I'm so proud also to be the part of this wonderful organization called Educators in VR, that is founded by Laurel van Vossen. She's here as well in the back. Give her a big hand, please, for making this possible. And also Daniel Dibowski-Bryant is one of the founders, and we are really happy that they founded this so we can have these great events every week. I'm the team leader of the V Coaching and Personal Development track, and the mission is to build a network of people around the world who are interested in coaching and personal development and provide them an interactive space where they can communicate, share knowledge, support, connect, and inspire each other, and maybe even join forces to create a better real world for everyone. So today's guest speakers are Ekaterina Prasolova-Førland. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Good. I was practicing. And also Jose Garcia Estrada. Estrada is going to speak. Did I say that correctly?
No, that's fine.
Thank you. So first, Ekaterina is going to speak for us. So I'm going to introduce her a little bit. Ekaterina has been working with educational virtual worlds and immersive technologies since 2002. She's the ambassador for women in Immersive Tech, board member of XR Norway, and member of several international expert panels. She's currently leading the development of innovative VR and AR solutions for the Norwegian Labour and Welfare Administration to assist and empower young job seekers. And Ekaterina will speak about career guidance in VR today and experiences from virtual internship project. So thank you for being here, Ekaterina. Give her a big hand to give her a feel welcome. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for introduction, Donna Maria, and thanks to you and Educators in VR for inviting me here. I've been following your channel and your Facebook for quite a long time. I attended the conference, and now I'm really excited to finally be the one presented. So today I'm going to talk about our project where we try to empower young job seekers and help them to choose their careers in VR. Okay, so this is a project that we and my colleagues in my lab have been working since 2017. And one of my colleagues, Michael Femenich, is not here. He's been coordinator for this project. Next one, please. So Donna Maria has already introduced me a little bit. I am professor at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology in the beautiful city of Trondheim. And some people call me Norway's first VR professor. So I've been working with VR in AR, especially for learning and training, for quite some time. And I'm leading the Innovative Immersive Technologies for Learning Research Group and Lab, where we develop applications, XR applications for learning and training in different areas in collaboration with stakeholders and industry partners, different research environments. And then we develop these applications for learners in very different domains and very different target groups, from unemployed, like this project, in collaboration with Norwegian Labour and Welfare Administration, for AR training for neurosurgeons, applications for K-12, applications for university level teaching in mathematics, language, climate change history, medicine, etc. So we work quite broadly in a very cross-disciplinary manner. And our lab is a very top modern and quite unique innovative learning area and lab facility where we gather students, teachers, researchers, developers from different backgrounds and domains. And I know that many of you have experienced lockdown like myself, so those who would like to come to Norway and visit my lab, please give me some emojis. Okay, I see some people are tired of lockdown or like to travel. So in our lab, we are very happy to receive visitors. Sometimes, at least before lockdown, we could receive up to 50 people per day and 100 per week, and people came from different countries and cities to visit us. We had a lot of representatives from the industry, so we hope when all this is over, we would love to welcome you to our lab. Here we see some images. Next, please. So now back to the project. So what was the background for the project that we called virtual internship? The goal is to simulate workplaces in VR with gaming elements for motivating and engaging career guidance. Our primary target audience are young and employed up to 25 years and high school students. We are now also working with lower levels because it's important to start career guidance very early. And in our project, it's a central aspect to give the young job seekers a sense of mastery, where they can explore and train in unfamiliar situations, in unfamiliar workplaces, in a safe setting. This way they can master corresponding real-world situations. Because as we know, many job seekers, young job seekers, they suffer from different mental health issues, and it's especially true now in the context of COVID-19 crisis. And we know that in all of the Europe and all the world, a lot of people lost their jobs. So we really hope that this project will help those people as well, not just our original target group. Next, please. Another important concept in this project is immersive job taste. This is actually what we create as a part of this project. So how did we start to create solutions in VR? We have worked with job seekers. We have did some preliminary investigations, and we found out that in traditional career guidance, people rely a lot on text-based information, and many young job seekers think that it's too boring. Some of them suffer from reading difficulties, and they would really like to have something more interactive. Also, trainee programs where you visit workplaces and you are doing some internships. It's time consuming for the companies. It's logistically difficult. And also now in the context of the crisis, it's sometimes even impossible because of the restrictions. So that's why we believe VR would be a solution for this problem. And that's why we have created a number of immersive job tastes in VR. Next, please. So this has been...
I hate to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt. So I'd like to see a sign of hearts. Who can see the slides? If you can see the slides, give me hearts. All right. Everybody can see it? No. If you cannot see it, please re-enter the event space, and you should be able to see it. All right. Sorry about that. Thanks.
Okay, shall I wait?
Nope. Keep going.
Okay, so hopefully you see on this slide you see our first application, Fishery VR, and fish is really important in Norway. How many of you have tried Norwegian salmon? Let's see some hearts. Well, a lot of salmon is made in Norway. It's made in aquaculture sector, and it's really important to recruit new job seekers to this sector. That's why our first application was recreating aquaculture and fish processing unit, where the job seekers could learn, experience how it is to feed the salmon, cut the salmon at the fish processing facility, sort the salmon, and do all things with salmon, with some accompanying tasks such as performing hygiene procedures, and hygiene is always important, especially now. And in this case, it's the whole thing is a game-based, where you can go through different tasks, and you can get some points for doing all things right, including doing hygiene operations like washing your hands and feet before going to the facility. And also in the beginning, we developed a job interview app. We are now about to release it on Android, on Google Play. You'll be able to see it, although it's in Norwegian, where with Google Cardboard or similar, you can actually immerse yourself in a typical interview situation. Okay, next please. And for this original app, we got a lot of international recognition. We got Best Demo Award at EuroVR 2018. We also made it to the finals of OGI Breakthrough Awards in the 2018 as well. It was a great honor for us. Next, please. And we haven't stopped with just with the fish. We have developed other applications, other job tastes. For example, electrician at a windmill, construction worker, as you see here. Next, please. Tinsmith and car workshop. For the car workshop, we have some additional features. It has its own layer for immigrants, for those who don't master Norwegian well enough. It's a really important target group who has some challenges in the job market. And we also have a collaborative mode here, which is again especially important during the COVID crisis, where those job seekers who don't have access to headsets can really go into the car workshop and get some training via desktop client, but also they can meet their career counselors and also get some career advice. So these two avatars, they're using headsets, but it's also possible to join without headsets, like how you join, many of you join Outspace VR. So this makes possible remote career guidance. Next, please. Now we have the video showing all this for job tastes, and we have some additional as well under development that will be excited to show it with you. Do you see the video? Please show the heart so we can see the video. So here you actually sort the salmon, the bad one from good one. In this iPad you can get different presentation of different tasks. Here, hygiene, important, wash yourself. Windmill electrician. I believe in Holland you have a lot of windmills, right? Here you can test some fuses and then go upstairs. The most exciting part. And change some light bulbs. So here you see each job taste is developed after a certain template. It contains 360 videos of how tasks are performed in real life, and later job seekers can try on performing the same tasks in the simulated environment. And see how they get some feedback in terms of points assigned and also some verbal feedback. Okay, that's all. I hope you could all see the video. If not, it's on YouTube, and I will share the link later, or Dana will share the link later. Okay, next slide, please. So now that you have seen how these apps look like, I can talk a little bit about methodology. So in this project, we have developed a methodology first on how capture experiences in a workplace. We have a combination of 360 videos, a combination of simulations where we at some point use photogrammetry and other tools like HoloLens to capture existing workplaces and actually create them in VR, so they're as realistic as possible. And we're also try to convey the central experiences in the workplace directly to the users, so that they can understand better what are the key requirements and skills for certain professions. In this way, users can get a peek into certain professions. They don't need to cover all the details. It's not workplace training, it's just a peek into certain professions, a taste of it. Next one, please. So all professions, all immersive job tastes follow a certain template based on our methodology, where before creating the template, we study the job announcements typical for this profession. We do interviews with the specialists, the employers, and based on that, we create a set of key skills for this profession, and then a set of activities and tasks where you need to practice these skills. In this way, by going through a set of tasks and getting feedbacks in terms of points and verbal feedbacks, the job seeker could get an idea. Do I have what it takes for this profession? Is it something that is right for me? Because often in job announcements, they have some vague definitions of you need to be handy, you need to be precise, but here in this application, you can directly experience what this means. Next, please. Again, here I give a very short presentation of this project. We evaluation is also, we have tested this, at least the first job applications with almost 100 job seekers and career counselors. The majority agreed or strongly agreed that such applications should be available at job seekers at career centers such as unemployment officers, and that such applications could give a better confidence in performing work tasks and a better understanding of different professions. We have some already some shiny stories about a job seeker who before could never imagine working with salmon in the fishery industry, but he tried our fishery app. He thought that it's something interesting for him. He applied for a profession at the Salmar, which is the company that was our model, and he got the job. He got a permanent position from being unemployed. So it's a really great history. And we get some additional stories like that where young job seekers could see, okay, this is something not for me because I'm afraid of height, so working on a windmill is not for me. That's also a good result because now he doesn't have to look that direction, he has to look somewhere else. Next, please. So here just some citations from the job seekers. Some of them believe that in a few years it will be one of the main tools used in job seeking. We are the key to reach people, and let's say I want to apply job in fisheries. It would help to be already into simulation and try some different tasks so you're better prepared for actually going to a job interview, and you can impress the employer. Next, please. And similarly, welfare professionals or career counselors believe that it's important that the job seekers get an increase in self-efficacy, because many of them suffer from low self-esteem. They believe they're not good for anything, but after trying this, they think, okay, maybe I can do this. I am good at this task. I got a lot of points for that. So it's really, it could raise their self-esteem. And also it's they believe it's a nice way of giving job seekers a more realistic impression of different work settings, where you get broad strokes of a profession that's easier to know if it is within my field of interest and not. Next, please. So what we are doing at the moment, we have placed VR stations and where we try different job tastes at the selected unemployment offices in Norway, and young job seekers have the possibility to try them out. And preliminary, we got very good feedbacks. The job seekers believe that this really could start a conversation. They could really explore directly what the different jobs are about. In this way, they can really start talking with their career counselors and make right career choices. Unfortunately, our evaluation has been disrupted by the COVID crisis because everything was closed. Still, we've been able to do some remote testing with the car workshop app that has remote features. So now we do some fine tuning. We are collecting all this job tastes into a job catalog, where we also have a tutorial, where we have a possibility to choose different professions, also collaboratively, that you can explore them with your peers, with a tutorial. And we're also working further on methodology, because then it will be easier for somebody else to develop new professions after that. And all this is published on the next slide, please. You can see some links where you can find more information. It's a link to our lab. It's a link to the project, where you can find our publications from the project and methodology. My email address and the link, Facebook link to our lab. Please like our Facebook page and follow it. And here you see on the top left, the top right corner, how I did my teaching in Mozilla Hubs during the lockdown. So thank you very much for your attention. I would be happy to answer any question you may have.
Thank you so much, Ekaterina. That was really great. I'm gonna see if people have questions now. That would be great to have you push the raise hand button on the right. Yeah, I see one question. I will just see who's that. Ultra Trex, please, you can talk. Ask your question, please. Thank you. Short, please. Short question, because we only have 5 minutes questions. After the talk, we can have more questions. So tell me your question. You can speak now, or not? Ultra, he's gone. Okay. Rel, go on, Rel.
So I am so excited about this. I am just love this. What are you seeing? And if you could go back one slide, Dana Maria, so everybody can still see the links and things.
Yeah.
If they need, you can do a selfie or something to grab those. What are you
Yes.
feeling from the students? What's the response from the students? Are they liking this? Are they really? What's the retention rate?
Do you mean the job seekers, or the
Yes.
students who are developers?
The students that so you have students that are developing, but both, actually both. How are the students liking doing this, and what's the retention rate on that? Are they staying in, and then what's the same thing for the students that are participating?
Well, we have two categories. I mean, these job seekers we are working towards, they are high school dropouts who are not students at the moment, but who are need some help to go back to the work life. And we haven't we collected some feedbacks on the use of the apps, but we haven't yet. It was disrupted because the COVID. We haven't collected the long-term effects on the percentage of those who try the apps who got a job later. So we are now in the process of doing that now that the restrictions are more or less raised or softened. And but we know about some stories where people actually, as I said, from the fishery, where young job seekers, after trying the apps, they find some jobs. And we have, if you look at the papers, so we collected some statistics about the feedbacks from those who tried the applications, that show that it gives them better understanding of different professions, and they believe that they should be included into the practices of the Norwegian unemployment offices. But during the evaluation process we are doing now, we are trying to kind of follow different job seekers over a longer period of time and see how this affects their career plans or career options in the longer run. So this is something we're going to do for about a year.
It's fascinating, and thank you, because the idea of offering this to people who are still just don't know what they want to do in the future, and what an amazing opportunity to have these examples to choose from. So thank you so much for this. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Great. Then let's go to the next speaker, and afterwards we don't forget to have to make a selfie with these things, with this slide deck. But please let me introduce you, Jose Garcia Estrada. He is a postdoctoral fellow with the IMTEL group, the Department of Education and Lifelong Learning at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. And Jose also holds a PhD in computer science from the University of Hull, from the United Kingdom. Jose is currently working on a project investigating methodologies and best practices for integrating XR in higher education. And he will speak about creating a method to prepare educators in using XR in teaching and learning. So please give him a big hand. Give him a big hand and welcome, Jose.
Thank you, Dana.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello, everyone. If everyone can hear me, just let me see something. Hearts, smiles. Thank you very much. So, as you say, my name is Jose. You might recognize me. I look exactly like the people that are standing next to you. Okay, that's as you can see, I'm also trying to be a virtual reality comedian, but that's not going very well. So it's good that we don't have virtual tomatoes here. I joined.
Jose, sorry. It is because maybe if you speak a little bit louder, then people can maybe hear you a little bit better. But it was really funny. Thank you.
Okay, no, I just got a sign that for someone it was too loud. So I'm trying to find a point here that I don't make people deaf when I talk. Okay, so as I was saying, I joined the IMTEL group last year. My previous work includes collocated collaboration in virtual environments, interaction in virtual and augmented reality, and pseudo haptics. Professor Prasolova-Førland just told us a little bit about the work of our group. Basically, what we do is we are part of the Department of Education and Lifelong Learning in Trondheim, and as such, we aim to use our expertise to support education, not only for our department, but from other departments and faculties in the university. So what this actually involves is involving people without experience in XR into seeing the applications, seeing the hardware, being able to ask questions. We can illustrate them and show them the capabilities of the technology, advise them, and in many cases participate in development of new applications. Can we change the slide, please? So basically, for many of you who already have some contact with the technology, it's becoming more and more common to find virtual and augmented reality solutions in education events. Many of you, if you are educators, you will go and there will be some vendors offering you one solution based on some type of device, or that is capable to run through different platforms. And many probably already have access to this equipment in your institutions, or your institutions might be encouraging to acquire them. So basically, this hardware has become more accessible, and setting up is relatively easy. And the idea is obviously, well, we want to use it for higher education, but then that there are a number of questions that come out of it. Can we move to the next one, please? So basically, what we know so far with the technologies that at least in VR, it seems to be the one that more people are familiar with. Not surprisingly, is concentrated on the use of headsets. Probably is because that's where you get the most inclusive experience, is where you get more immersion. And that's sort of the area where we sort of focus more on immersion in VR. Obviously, there are other options that are quite popular, as for example, the Google Cardboard is something people have become quite familiar with. But nonetheless, as we see from at least some studies, some systematic reviews, the bulk of VR for education is concentrated on use of headsets. Obviously, that we expect that to be switched a little bit with applications like Altspace or Mozilla Hubs. So that's something we are experiencing. Can we see the next one, please? When we go to augmented reality, is probably more of a more homogeneous picture. Basically, you will have less options if you compare with virtual reality, and also the cost of the devices is probably less affordable in this moment, but we expect that to change. So many of you might have experienced some AR in mobile phones, but headsets is still not that massively adopted. We change to the next one, please. And basically what we can see is the work on virtual and augmented reality focus a lot on okay, what can we do to demonstrate what the applications are? But there is also a big need from the education sector to associate it with different types of teaching and learning theories. That's a part where we are getting strongly involved. In some applications, for instance, in VR, one can see that in higher education, they might be focused on teaching procedural practical knowledge or declarative knowledge. That's not restricted for it, but obviously when you're looking for different applications, then you try to see what is the best angle to approach it. Can we change to the next one, please? And we see as in any discipline or in any field, you can see that there is more in one particular case. For instance, in AR, it's not surprisingly that the focus of applications tend to be on science and engineering, seem to be the dominant areas. Obviously, as you see from the graphs, it's not that it's only that. But I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, anyone in engineering, you will see that there might be a tendency or more familiarity with computer graphics or with a concept that requires some visual explanation, and so far that's been the main focus, but obviously one interest is to expand it and get to domains that are traditionally not that well attended there. Next, please. So all this serves as motivation to what the project I'm involved now. And basically, we are collecting and we are investigating the best practices from researchers and educators that have used virtual and augmented reality for education and trying to grab best practices. But mostly because we are detecting a need for educators without experience or the technical background to be able to integrate these technologies into their program. So what we are coming to is to develop a methodology and the practices to tell them how they can incorporate all this science into their day-to-day teaching and develop a way for them to map in which areas they can benefit the most by adopting the technology. Can we change to the next one? So what we are basically developing and we want to end up with is offering the procedures and the guidelines based on and provide the evidence for lecturers and educators so they know how they adopt and where do they adopt it. Obviously, we'll build in an experience of the group. Something happened here with the mic. So
Yes, I
that,
don't hear you very well. Can you give me some slides? Okay, everybody's hearing them very well. Yeah. Can you give me some hearts? Yeah. Okay, good.
We expect to be able to provide the procedures and the evidence to the educators on how they can integrate immersive technologies in an easier way. So that's what I will have to tell you today. So thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, I will be happy to. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna. There are some questions. They can ask more questions. Yeah, give them a big hand. Thank you. And but you can applaud once more for both of them after the questions, and then we do a selfie. But first, I will answer this. Ask the first one to ask his question. Pushikoi. Please go on. Ask your question.
Yeah, thanks. I'm really glad this was quite timely. I actually run a master's in multimedia and entertainment technology program in Hong Kong, and we just made the commitment of all of our students in our master's program will have headsets in the fall. So we'll have like 60 students with headsets. And right now I've got about 12 that just came in that all of our faculty are using right now, and we're kind of building worlds for teaching and everything. Just curious, in your experiences and actually your background, I'm just kind of new into this because of the situation. Do you know of any academic programs that have done entire programs like in VR, or at least done whole classes, like university level subjects entirely within VR?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of programs that have, I mean, one lecture, yes. What you want, what is harder to find is that the whole course is done on VR. But what it tends to have is, at least for particular topics, you will have one lecture that was mainly developed to be seen in VR. And I mean, one area that is quite particularly experienced on this is the geography and similar, because the area they have been basically focusing on using the 360 VR videos for virtual tours. So that's that. I mean, if you go and check and see in the literature, basically that's one of the big areas, because it's a group that has quite a limited accessibility to the spaces they need. So, for instance, that is one sector that is quite requiring and demanding this type of solution. So, yes, there are. and there are in many others. There are in anatomy and physics, mathematics, but as I say, they tend to be more one lecture. So it's not that the whole course is based on only VR, it's that you will have certain lectures.
Well,
Yes,
for,
I can
if I can continue a little bit, because what we've done out of necessity, actually, our university was the one that was hit during the protests. So our students for this whole year have been out since November, and we just kind of met again for the first time in Zoom and face to face last week. And so there was like 6-7 months where it was all done in Zoom, and a lot of the academic programs that went to Zoom very quickly found that kind of the education experience, just in Zoom, it's okay for lectures a little bit, but then students zone out. And if you do a whole academic program, in that way, a lot of the students aren't satisfied, and the experience isn't that great. But this, to be able to come in with groups and do small group discussions, and then for us, we teach them game design and environments. So it's ideally we're a little bit better suited towards that. But there are a lot of limitations. So like taking notes, for example, in VR is very difficult, where Zoom may be more relevant for that. And so we're just exploring different modalities of teaching and looking at different solutions. I wonder if anyone's really explored doing like full programs kind of in this space.
I can tell you something there. Basically, Ekaterina has a group, a course, and it's called Experts in Team Work. And basically, every year, some groups work with VR. And basically, what they do is they combine different tools. So this goes for a whole semester.
I can add.
Yes.
As Jose said, it's an expert in teamwork course. It's a collaborative cross-disciplinary course where students work in cross-disciplinary groups, and we have for 2 years students working with their counterparts in different campuses, because our university has campuses in different cities. They collaborated in VR, so every Wednesday they put on headsets in Trondheim and in Gjøvik, and they work together in a group, in a joint group with other students across of campuses. And this spring, after the lockdown, I moved the rest of my teaching into Mozilla Hubs, and students, most of them really enjoyed that because they could really be creative. They could create very colorful presentation of their project, very elaborate presentation of their projects using Mozilla Hubs. It's also on YouTube. I could share it with you if you want. So you can take notes, but you can really be creative. You can make visualizations of your topic. You can socialize. You can kind of do everything. You can let your imagination go free. So there are pluses and minuses of VR, and the answer to the question of what to use is, I would say, a combination of both traditional face-to-face, Zoom and similar, and VR.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And also, I would like to add to that if you can join the Discord channel, what we are doing our platform on, or we are promoting our training there for VR and presentations and workshops that all are going on this topic. So, and everybody can interact there and share their knowledge and share their experiences. So we would love for you, also Pushikoi, but also Ekaterina and Jose, please join the Discord channel. Everybody join it. So here behind me you see how you can do that, and then to share knowledge and join forces, and also to get people from all over the world to connect together to make an even bigger impact, to create a better world. So this is why we love doing this, and this is why we do this, so we can have people know about the stuff. This is what we already making, and also what is already out there, and we can learn from the experts. So, and these experts, Jose and Ekaterina, thank you so much. Can you come next to me to again give them a big hand? Yes, thank you so much. We cannot have any more questions for now, but you can stay maybe a little bit at the end to ask maybe some question if someone, if Ekaterina maybe stays a little bit longer, but I know that Jose has to go, and we still want to make a picture with everybody in it. So can you come please all to the stage? I don't know if there's a stage blocker. I think you're all there, and we can put, yeah, come next to us, next to Jose and Ekaterina and me and Botkan. And Laurel, please come and join us as well, so we can make a beautiful selfie with everybody in it. Yeah, more people come. Everybody join us. Maybe you can make a selfie, or everybody can make a selfie.
I got it coming. I got it working here. So.
Yeah.
All right. All right, everybody up on the stage. Come on, join us. The stage blocker is down. We're going to go for a big selfie. And Dina Maria, if you could push the slides back to the very first one.
Yeah, I will. The first one, you mean?
The first slide that has the titles on it. Christine, you're in the way of the picture. You want to come up on stage, Christine? Yes, Christine isn't here,
This
so
one.
let's see if I can
Yeah.
adjust. Yes,
Okay.
that is everybody's name. There, come on, Christine, come up on stage. Come on. Everybody up on stage, and then I'll tell you, just tell, go up the stairs. Remember stairs? They're part of the real world. Just go up the stairs. Just use the stairs. I don't, we've forgotten totally about stairs. I love it. I love it. All right. Oops, somebody else's head is in the way. Trying to get through the heads. All right. Everybody up here. Christine, you coming up? Everybody get up here and give me hearts. Lots of hearts. Lots of hearts. Lots of hearts. Keep them coming. Oh, that's beautiful. One more, because we know Dana Maria always blinks. She always blinks. Yay.
I do that in real
All
life
right,
as
going
well.
for another one. And hearts. And no blinking. Here you go. All right, beautiful. We will post those on the Discord channel for the V coaching, virtual coaching. Thanks, everybody. You all can be unmuted.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, they all can be unmuted. Let me see. They are unmuted. So thank you so much. If you want to stay a little bit till after, maybe ask some questions to Ekaterina or to ourselves, the crew, please feel welcome to stay. Please, Jose, thank you. If you need to go, just go.
Yeah,
thank you so
okay,
much
thank you very
for
much.
having.
Okay.
Yes, beautiful.
Well, thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye.
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 Thanks.
Ekaterina is still here. Do you have a little bit more time, Ekaterina?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe if people want to ask a question, just come up to the stage and come talk with us.